Welcome back to CryptosRus. I'm George. We're all George. I'm back. I'm finally back. And welcome to another Market Open stream. The market bell has just rung. So today, let's talk about what's going on in the world. What's going on with Bitcoin specifically. It does look like it is repeating this explosive pattern. I'm still a little hungover. Repeating this explosive pattern from previous cycles. So let's talk about that, and let's talk about everything else that's going on in the world today. Man, I cannot talk this morning. Welcome, guys. Hopefully you guys have been doing okay while I've been traveling in Las Vegas recently. So I'm back from that. I'll talk a little bit more about that during Q&A. But this morning, it does look like the U.S. market is looking decent. NASDAQ is up 85 points. Everything is up today. Bitcoin, unfortunately, is still kind of stagnant, not moving sideways. You know, it's looking for that move. It's looking for that next leg up soon. And I do have some explosive news to share with you guys. But today we'll see how the week ends, or we go and positive. This week actually was the worst performing week since March of this year. So this week was not good for U.S. markets. So, but you know, sometimes these weeks happen, right? Because the week before we had a really good week. I mean, so short term, anything can happen. I did see that the jobs report came out today. 187,000 jobs. That's not bad. Not bad. Came a little bit below expectation of 200,000, but overall, 187,000 isn't too shabby. Unemployment is still at 3.5% in the U.S. So that still means that a lot of people have jobs, and more are adding. So overall, this is pretty good for the U.S. economy. Hopefully, Powell is paying attention. He's the next rate hike next month. Okay, we don't have to worry about that. We don't have to worry about FOMC meeting for quite some time, but hopefully he's paying attention, and we will no longer need any more rate hikes in the U.S. anymore, right? Let's just hope that this is that. This is it. Let's see here. So also, I saw this ETF race. Okay, not only do we have this, this enthusiasm over Bitcoin spot ETFs, now we're talking about Ethereum ETFs. There's a lot of talks about getting some Ethereum futures ETFs to come out, right? Then that leads to Ethereum spot ETFs. But ProShares, which is a huge fund manager, and Bitwise now are joining both. Okay, so now we have two kinds of ETFs to look forward to: Bitcoin and Ethereum. And of course, Bitcoin spot ETF, we already have all these big boys, okay, including ARK, BlackRock, Van Eyck, Invesco, Fidelity, Valkyrie. Their final deadline is all before, like basically 1 month before the halving event, with the exception of ARK's. ARK's is 2 months ahead. So if they get the approval, then basically everyone else is going to get approval, right? So if they don't get approval, then BlackRock is next. It'll be interesting. But I'm thinking that if one gets approved, they're all going to get approved. But yeah, this just kind of shows you the big boys that want to enter the space, how much money will be entering the space after these get approved. And soon we're going to have Ethereum ETFs too, right? These are all for casual traders, retail investors, and or institutional investors. I think it's more for institutional investors. When they come in, they're throwing in billions, okay? Billions upon billions upon billions. And they don't have to worry about custody and all that stuff. They just want to buy something, right? And that's what the ETFs are for. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. But what's even better is Bitcoin right now, right? This is explosive pattern. Well, Plan B summed it up pretty nicely here. Pretty nicely. Not buying Bitcoin now at below 30,000 is not like buying, well, is like not buying Bitcoin when it was below 10,000 in 2019, and not buying Bitcoin, and is like not buying Bitcoin below $500 back in 2015, right? These are periods when Bitcoin came back up from its bottom and then consolidated for months and upon months upon months. You know, people got discouraged. People didn't trust that Bitcoin was going to go higher. People thought there was doomsayers that kept claiming that Bitcoin was going to fall below again, and all these, you know, scary things that was being spewed, right? And then guess what happened? Bitcoin moved forward, and then it formed a new high, and then it kept going, right? It's kind of like right now. We might be going sideways until 2024, but still, this is one of those periods where it's not time to be fearful, not time to be bearish. It's time to be bullish, right? And also, if you look into it, there's the 2-year realized price and a 5-month realized price. And when Bitcoin's above both, that's a pretty bullish thing, especially if you look at going all the way back to the beginning. This has held true for many, 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 many years, right? So again, even though we're kind of stagnant now, we're still pressed, right against 30,000, way better than our previous low from earlier this year. And we're getting closer and closer and closer to the end of the year, which means we're getting closer and closer and closer to the halving event, right? It's kind of crazy that we're already in August. I'm still thinking that we just started the year, but somehow we're already more than halfway through. It's kind of crazy. But of course, speaking of the halving event, why is this so important? Well, because the supply gets dropped, not the supply, but the block rewards gets dropped by half, which makes it more scarce, which makes the price go up, right? So again, you just look at history. Just look at history, right? Having 1, 2, 3. The last halving event, Bitcoin was below 10,000. The one before, Bitcoin was at below 1,000, and the one before it was below $100, right? So where will Bitcoin be this time around? 50,000, okay? It makes sense. It's a little bit below our previous high, but just look at it. We're forming higher highs, higher lows, higher halving prices, right? So what is there to be fearful of? It's moving according to plan. Nothing has deviated, right? The only thing I would say is, unfortunately, we didn't hit 100,000 this last cycle, which would have happened if Powell did not start raising rates and announcing that there will be rate hikes, right? Had he not done those things, let's say he'd done it in January instead of in November, Bitcoin for sure would have hit 100,000. But that's the only thing that made us go off track. But this time around, seeing how we're going to get a pivot and he's going to start going in reverse, cutting rates, there'll be more money swashing around in the market. Tech sectors is going to get better. It's going to help Bitcoin tremendously this cycle. All right. And then, of course, if you want something more dumbed down, you don't understand any of the things I just said, just look at this pattern, okay? This is one of those IQ test patterns where you get asked, what's next, okay? So if you had to guess, what would number 4 look like? It'll be pretty good. It'll be pretty good, right? So how high is number 4 go get? I don't know, 200,000, 150,000, 500,000. We don't know at this point, right? But 4 is definitely a good one. And then, what's good too? Number 1. 1 is also good. 1 pushes even further past 4. Right? That's simple. Also, balance on exchanges continues to go down, 30% down from its high back in 2020, and continues to go down further and further down. Okay. It's all good. It's all leading to great things, right? Great things, great prices, a higher high that's coming, right? And institutional and more institutional adoption and global adoption and more people turning away from fiat. It's leading to great things, right? So nothing has changed since I've gone away for a week, other than my hangover. But you know, it's still looking pretty darn good. All right, now in addition to Bitcoin, there's a little bit of Shib news. Okay, I have not heard much about Shib in quite some time, but there is a big connection with Binance. So Binance just announced Shib as a collateralized asset, which means that you can put down Shib and borrow against it. They have a flexible loan and VIP loan program. Okay, so many people think that, well, if they're allowing Shib to be used as a collateral, is Bone going to be listed next? Bone is the backbone, okay, no pun intended, of Shibarium. It's layer 2, right? I still don't hear many people or many dApps jumping to Shibarium or many people saying anything about Bone. Most people are just holding Shib, but who knows? Who knows what this means, right? Are they going to list Bone next? Quite possibly, but I'm still waiting for Shibarium and more traction. Right, and haven't really heard much about it. But also Shib is part of Binance Pay, and they have 300 brands. Okay, and you could use Shib to pay for many things: airline, travel services, rental services, even Burger King in Paris. And they have this new cosmetic brand. You know, they got all this stuff, right? So if you wanted to spend Shib, you can. Right now, I don't think anyone is spending Shib on anything, okay? But in the next bull run, if Shib goes up 100%, just to get back its previous highs, and it goes up another 100%, or 200 or 500%, yeah, then this will be good. People will want to spend Shib. So overall, it's not too shabby. And Shib is trying to do some kind of digital ID service across their DeFi ecosystem. That sounds interesting. I think it's home built. I don't think they're using any partner, but they're going to use some kind of digital ID service so that if you're using their DeFi, whatever it may be, their swap or anything else, lending service or loan service or whatever, you'll be able to do so easily, right? So some Shib news for those of you guys. And then lastly, this could be a big thing, another catalyst, kind of like the XRP non-security ruling. Coinbase is filing to seek dismissal of SEC lawsuit because it's pointless. Basically, SEC claimed that, or alleged that Coinbase is selling a lot of security tokens. But now, you know, they first of all, they never really had any true definition of what a security token is, right? And they just applied it. But now it just seems like the silly, right? If XRP is not a security, then none of the other tokens are really securities, at least not the ones that are just listed on an exchange, because that's what they are arguing. They were just arguing that just because a token is being sold on exchange makes it a security. Well, that doesn't make sense, right? So they're looking to dismiss this lawsuit. That would be absolutely huge for Coinbase stock, but Coinbase stock has been going up regardless. Seems like no one really cares, but it'll be absolutely huge for the entire industry, because I think they named like 12 or 15 different coins as securities, and dismissing this one would basically mean that they're non-securities again, which would be great overall. I don't know how long this is going to take. We know Gary, he's out of money, so I don't know how long it's going to take, but we'll see. All right, that's pretty much it. Today's still overall a pretty green day, so that's pretty good. And we're heading into the weekend, so that's pretty good. Bitcoin is up slightly. Love to see it back. You know, we had this excitement where it did actually hit 30,000, came back down. We need some big pushes to push us beyond 30 and 31.6. So waiting for that to happen. It's going to happen soon. All right, let's do some Q&A. Man, I am tired. I really need a vacation from my vacation, I guess. All right, let's see. Welcome back, everyone. So let's see if I missed any chat. $50, 54 Woods Girl. Welcome back. 48,000 by mid-September, according Centurion. Certainly a reasonable number. Scott, welcome. Shiba Inu will surpass Doge. Well, Doge is still doing very well. 10.5 billion. Shib has to double. It could certainly happen. Shib is having a good day today. The Sphere in Vegas was amazing. I stopped by and looked at it. There's like 20 different patterns. Some I didn't care for a lot, but like a few, like a giant basketball, the giant eye. I didn't actually see the moon one. They showed the Earth one. It's breathtaking when you're standing in front of it. It's not complete, but that structure is so massive. It's so massive. Everything in Vegas is so massive. Just to walk through from one casino to another. Man, it's tough. It's a lot of walking. Tim says miner flow is showing lots of selling by miners last 2 months. Your thoughts? I don't agree with that. I've seen miners move things around, and it could be interpreted that way. But also, right now, overall, if miners are selling, and I'll look more into it, but I've seen some charts that does not show that. They may be selling some to pay for operations, but not like dumping everything they had, which we have seen before during a lot of times, but this is not one of those times. Carpo, is VeChain lack of TVL worry? It's not a worry, but it's one of the reasons why they have not gone up more, because they don't have enough people to basically put their money into VeChain. That's what I've been saying for a while. They need a more robust DeFi ecosystem. There's no pools. There's no staking, basically. You don't even need to stake your VET. You basically just hold it in the wallet. That's it, right? There's just nothing. So it would be nice if they add more to their DeFi ecosystem. Devar T. Roy, is that? I don't know if I said that right. You changed my life. I did DCA, a whole bunch, and I ran out of money. Can I reach 500K? Yes. Basically, everything that you listed, ADA, I think that's Matic. You put Matic, but it's with a C. XRP, Hedera, Graph, VET, Gala. I think those are solid projects. Gala is probably the weakest one out of everything you just listed, right? But I'm hoping that they can come back up. And Rich gifted 1 CRU membership. Nice. Actually, I'm not even sure. Now that I think about it, during my VIP event, Jason from Gala was supposed to attend. I'm not sure if he did, or I didn't see him. Hmm. Did I ride a huge wheel in Vegas or zip lines? No. No. Good evening from Australia. Seems like a lot of people did not tune in today because they forgot that or didn't know I was coming back, right? But yeah, you know, even on my vacation, I was putting out videos. So I'm constantly working, even though I just didn't work as hard. But yeah, I was tired. Every day I was tired in Vegas. Actually did pretty well with gambling. I didn't lose anything. I was up like probably $700 overall. Gambling in Vegas is so much better than everywhere else. You know, so many tables, many times. You could just get to a table and play by yourself. And there's so many options. It's just so much easier to play in Vegas, although they have all these weird rules for some of their games and stuff. Gary from Taipei, welcome. How do you feel about the talk of appealing the XRP lawsuit decision? I don't think it's going to happen. I think Gary's kind of downplaying that now, and I don't think that's happening. I think the SEC is also out of money, so I don't know. He might do it, but right now, I think he would have appealed already if they were going to do so. Have I visited Europe? Yeah, when I was a teenager, but I don't really remember a trip. I was in Amsterdam, France, and I've been in Kazakhstan before. I don't know. Kazakhstan's in Europe or Asia. I think it's Europe. But that, again, that was when I was a kid. I want to take a future vacation. Um, Thoughts on a new Land Cruiser? I just saw it briefly. To be honest, I'm not impressed at all. It looks cheap now. You know, Land Cruiser was supposed to be a premium, or is a premium, you know, SUV. There was a prestige about it, right? And Toyota made it into like basically a normal SUV, right? Starting price like 50,000. The GX, the Lexus GX is based off of it. Many people think, like, I've heard a lot of people say, "Oh, the new GX looks amazing." To me, I don't like that. I don't like the new GX or the Land Cruiser. There's like a weird Toyota vibe to it, and it doesn't look premium to me at all. So I'm not a fan of either car actually. Daily gym reminder. Well, Johnny, since I've been in Vegas, obviously have not been hitting a gym for the last week. Um, Scott, I don't know since I haven't been back. Gary Gensler to focus on AI. I don't know. I don't know which project he's targeting. If he's going after OpenAI or whatever, I don't know. If the SEC appeals and loses, they will pretty much seal their fate in attempting to squeeze any more crypto projects. I don't know. I mean, the only one that I'm rooting for is the case against Hex and Pulse and Richard Hart. Man, I lost my voice this morning. That one is legit. I think the SEC should be going after, legit cases, okay? Not just targeting everything. I still want to see them, go after and shut down bad projects and bad actors in this space. But yeah, they certainly should not be targeting like Coinbase, for example, right? Like Coinbase has been legit for many years. It just that made no sense. So we'll see. I don't think they're going to appeal the XRP thing, and they may just withdraw from Coinbase. Do you take advantage of Coinbase 4.5 interest rate on USDC? No, I don't. First of all, I can't use Coinbase. They shut down my account many, many, many years ago for unknown reasons. And I don't know if you could do it straight to USD, Circle's site. I don't know if you can or not, but I don't. I should actually, but I don't. Did I visit any dispensaries? No, I don't. I didn't. I saw many, though. I saw many there, like everywhere. But I didn't visit any of them. I didn't visit any of them. I did visit a lot of places with girls with daddy issues. I did go to a few of those. I also had a pretty fun, on a serious note, I had a pretty fun interview with Sin City Crypto. That video actually did decently well, the interview. I reposted it, but I saw so many negative comments toward those guys. And somehow they felt like, like I didn't have a good time, or they're being arrogant or cocky, or coming up with weird topics. I thought it was a great interview. One of them, probably the funnest, if that's a word, interview I've ever done. And I told them on purpose to do like some weird topics so we could talk about things. I didn't know they were going to have guests in the studio, but it was fun. And I was just, drinking and having a good time with them, purposely poking them on purpose. So I had a fun time with them. Their studio is impressive, very, very impressive. They don't have a large audience, but, they're not giving up, and that's great. I did pass by Planet 13 many times. I saw that. I was like, it looks amazing on the outside. Man, the funny thing is, when I first got to Vegas, I couldn't stand the heat, right? Like coming out of the airport, you had this breeze blowing, but it just felt like a heater, right? Like blowing on you. So it was like unbearably hot. But by the time I left, it was okay. It was still hot, but it was bearable, even though like 105, 106 outside. I kind of got used to it, right? Like, you still don't want to hang out outside under the sun all day, but I kind of got used to it. It's kind of funny how that works that way. And when I got back home, it was like 85 out. And I'm like, wow, this feels good because it's not 100 anymore. But the time zone difference sucks. You know, trying to put out videos and West Coast time sucks because it's 2 hours or 3 hours behind everyone else in the U.S. That was really tough for me. I did not visit Area 51. It was too far away. But I saw the Hoover Dam pass by it. Try to go to Grand Canyon West, but they shut down for the day. But I visited somewhere else that's close by this lake. It's really nice. No, there's no news on Jasmine. The simple fact that you can't type it in the chat should tell you something. Because I had way too many people try to shill that project before. Tyler, that's exactly right. I didn't go to the big mall in Vegas. I don't know which one you're referring to. I shopped around. You know, there's like shops in every casino. I bought quite a few things from LV in the Caesar shop. You know, they have a men's and women's store. I was looking for hats. I bought a hat and then I ended up buying a hat for my wife. I bought this nice windbreaker jacket too. So I spent some money there. Oh, I also stopped by a Rolex store in Aria. Yeah, Aria's mall. And they actually had one. They had a new one. And I got in, they closed at 9. I got in at like 8:55 right before they closed. I could tell they didn't want me in there, but I'm like, do you have any men's watches? They're like, yes. They had this beautiful Datejust, a rose gold Datejust. Um, I was shocked. I'm like, oh, and it looks great too. So I picked that up as well. You know, for any watches, it's next to impossible to find any new watches being sold, right? So I spent a bit of money in Vegas. Are you a fan of Marathon Digital? I mean, I have nothing against them. Mara, Mara, and then Hut and a few others. You know, the miners. They provide great exposure. They move. You know, they're coupled with Bitcoin, right? When Bitcoin does well, they do well. When they don't, they don't. I mean, they don't. It just provides great exposure to, I guess, to Bitcoin. It's almost like a leveraged Bitcoin play because they move quite faster. Tyler, yes. I mean, I like to spend on assets, right? And I think watches is one of those things. So yeah, it's something that you can pass on to your kids, and it'll still be worth the same. If and most likely, it's gonna be worth more. Um, and I don't have a lot, but I try to pick up the ones I can. How much did I pay for my first BTC? Well, when I got into 2013, Bitcoin first hit 1,000, and I was mining Litecoin then, and I forgot how many accumulated by mining Litecoin, and then I bought it back in 2017, and it was right around 1,000 too. So I'll just say it was around 1,000. Unfortunately, I could have bought them at like $100 something back in 2015 when things were coming down. Did not. So I would just say it's probably around 1,000. Do you think going 125x leverage is a good idea? No. No. And I know you're joking, but no. All right, guys. To conclude, overall, happy Friday. For me, I definitely need the weekend, but I'll stream tomorrow, my usual time. But, today, overall pretty good. Jobs report, decent, right? But as for Bitcoin, still stagnant, but not buying right now. It's like not buying when Bitcoin is 10,000 or 500 or even $5 before, right? We're definitely in recovery mode. We're in a new bull cycle. We're getting closer to the next halving event. Great things are coming. So stay strong, my friends. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.